Hopefully you're going to get that. Hi, I'm Subu, bringing crafting to you, and today I'm going to show you how I made this real fire, well, fake fire, but gives a realistic effect. It's a couple of videos ago where I showed you, and I got requests to actually show you exactly how I made it. So without further ado, let's get on. Right, first of all, we need to do the vellum because the vellum takes some drying. Now, I always think out of the box. This is a dye from Seascape. Let me just, oh, it's here, Seascape. So this is seaweed, but I thought that reminds me of flames on a fire. So what we're going to do is, I've got real red. Oh, and I forgot to get myself a sheet of paper to put underneath. Okay, let me just put that underneath the vellum. Okay, so I'll move some stuff in a bit as we get going, so it will, sorry. So, oh, that's not done it enough. Done it wrong way round. This is a good start. Okay, so I'm inking up, but I'm not going to put all the stamp on. I'm going to put about 2/3 in the centre, and the piece of vellum I've got is 2 and, well, I'll tell you in a minute when I've done this. So I think, let me just have a look at my reds. I think I just had that red flame in the middle. Yes, I did. I just had the red flame in the middle, so I'm just going to stamp off those, and then I'm going to get my stamping scrub to clean up my stamp. Okay, so I've done this with real red. Now I'm doing the vellum first, and I'll tell you exactly the size in a moment. I've just buried it and we need to get on and do the vellum, so I'll unbury it in a minute. So we need to clean up our stamp, and then I'm going to use Calypso Coral. So I'll just put that real red out of the way and get Calypso Coral. And this time with the Calypso Coral, I'm not going to do the full stamp. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to come in with some lower, again stamp off and do some lower like that. And then I'm going to clean up my stamp again, and we will do Orchid Oasis. So this will give you the blue flame. Let me just put that on one side and bring in the Orchid Oasis. And again, we're going to stamp off this. So I'm going to stamp off and do some blue flames lower down, stamp off and do some blue flames lower down. And I think I'll do some coming up in the middle without putting any more on. Okay, I'll just clean up my stamp and get that. Now, with it being vellum, it takes a while to dry, and that is why we have done it first. So you'll have to excuse the noise now, because we need to go ahead and start to dry this. Now it does take a bit of time to do this, and sometimes we might have to go back and do a bit more drying a bit later, but this will give it a good start. Where I've stamped off, that's not so bad. That's I think drying pretty quickly. I just get that. I can't stretch my heat tool any further. I just have to get that done. And I'm just sort of doing that to see whether it's still shiny. As I say, it takes a while for it to do. That's why we've got to do it the very first thing that we do. So I'll tell you the size of this in a moment when I uncover my work. That doesn't look too bad. Right, I'm going to risk that, and I'll just cool it down a minute, and then I'm just going to put it very gently down, rub it on there. Oh, there we go, it is dry. So there's a closer look at the flames. So I thought they look like leaping flames, so put that on one side for now. And I'll turn this, oh, actually I'll remove it. Okay, so what we need to start with is a piece of real red card, and this measures 5 7/8. So let me give you the vellum while let's don't put that on top of there. Let me give you the vellum. The vellum is 2.5, so it's 2.5 high by 3.5 wide. Now I've got, let me just do a bit of soap to get rid of, I've just got some ink on me. Must have just picked it off the pad and I don't want to get it on here. Okay, so this is 5 7/8 by your standard A4 size, which for America or Canada is 11 3/4. So we're going to put this in. I'm going to take out my blade for the moment, and we're going to score this at 2 3/4. So put it in at 2 3/4 and score. I'm going to move that out of my way. Then we want 5 1/2. So put that in at 5 1/2. 5 1/2. And then we'll extend our arm, and we want 8 1/4. 8 1/4. Okay, 8 1/4. Score that, and then 11 inches. So bring that to the 11 inches. Okay. So that's the scoring done for now on that one. Now, what we're going to do is, let me just make sure that I've got this right. We're going to place in at 3 5/8. So I'm just making sure I have got this. So this is going to go in at 3. So just make sure, which I didn't, make sure you have got your narrow score line at the top, and you're going to put in at 3 5/8. Okay, and then you're going to place your blade. So I'm just going to get my blade back on my track. I'm going to place the blade at 2 1/4. Now, if you've got something that's a different colour, it will just help you put that underneath your blade so you can see where the 2 1/4 is. So I'm moving that down, making sure that 2 1/4. So I've got it at 2 1/4, and I've got to take that down to 4 3/4. So I'm just moving my piece down. So that's 2 1/4, and I'm taking that down to 3 4 3/4. I'll get it right in a minute. 4 3/4. So we've put it in at 2 1/4 and taken our blade down from 2 1/4 down to 4 3/4. We're then going to move it along and place it at 5 1/4. So move it along, place it at 5 1/4, and then we're going to put it back at 2 1/4. Hold on. Yep, that's right. So put it back at 2 1/4. So I'm going to put my thing in there so I can see where my 2 1/4 is. There, and put my track down, and then I'm going to take it down again. So I'm going to move this to 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. Okay, let me just move that up, and let me just pop my trimmer blade there. Then we're going to turn it around. Let me just pop that on there. Just, oh, that's too wide. What's happened there? Did I do 5 1/4? Yeah. Oh, I can't have done it that wide. Can't have done it that wide then. Let's hope this will work out. So I do it narrower. It doesn't want to be as wide. Let me look again. 2, so placing at 3 5/8. So that's 3 5/8. Oh, that's what's happened. I didn't place it in at 3 5/8. What did I place it in at? Place in at 3 5/8. So make sure you place in at 3 5/8. So I got that bit wrong. So it's got to be 3 5/8. I thought that looked too wide. And then you're going to do from 2 1/4. Don't know why I did that. 2 1/4. And we take that down to 4 3/4. So that's 4 3/4. Okay, that's better. So ignore the line I've got there. I will actually let's see, that will be covered up anyway. That line that I've done there and got wrong, it will be covered up. So I'm not going to worry about that. I am then going to turn my trim around, and because I've made a mistake with that line, I've got to now be careful. So let me, to make sure you've not got any confusion, narrow end at the top, then you're putting it in at 3 5/8. So 3 5/8, you're going to cut from 2 1/4 down to 4 3/4. Then you're going to place at 5 1/4, and you're going to cut from 2 1/4 down to 4 3/4. So you'll just have that narrow bit there. So that's to get rid of any confusion. Then turn it so that your narrow cut is at the top, and you're going to place that in let's see, 2 1/4. So you're going to place this, so I've got the narrow end where it's scored. I'm going to place that in at 2 1/4. I'm going to put my blade up, and I'm going to cut from that cut line down to the next cut line. So cut from that one down to the next one. So I'll bring that up closer for you to look. So I've cut from that cut line there down to that cut line there. Okay, and then I'm going to move my trimmer along, my card along, until I come to the other one, which should be 4 3/4, pop my blade back in. So I'm matching up my side, I'm matching up with that mark on my trimmer, my cut line. So I'm going to match it up with the cut line and cut from that cut line to the next cut line. So I've just cut from that cut line to the next cut line, and then I'm going to take it out. Now, if you've not quite got all of that, don't worry about it. Just bring in your scissors and you're just going to finish it off. So just let me move my trimmer out of the way a minute, and I've got to see where it is. So it's that little corner. I just need to, oh, let's start with this one. I just need to snip just a slight bit there. Sit. Not taking it there, and then just need to snip a slight bit that way and slight bit this way. Now, do not discard this piece we are cutting out. Okay, don't discard it. Right, there we go. Now, what we're going to do is that way, so it's there. Yeah, so the reason we're going to turn that round, so that now is on your right hand side. Okay, and we're going to place that piece of card that we've just cut out, we're going to place exactly back in. And I'm going to bring in my dirty paper, and what we're going to do now is we're going to use the welcome window bricks. Now, you could run this through the brick embossing folder and do that. There might be some other stamps that have got this brick effect, but I know the welcome window has, so I'm going to use the welcome window. And I did tone on tone, so let's move that out of the way, and I'm going to come back in with my real red. Now, I chose to do this after I've cut. This is the way I just did it, and we'll start at the top, and I'm just roughly going to go across. I'm not going to worry too much if it's not straight, because it's old brick building, and so it will be like this. So we're going to go all the way across. The only place you don't need to do is the narrow bit that you're left with there. So then I put it in again, and I kind of staggered the bricks so that I've got that going off. I'm just going to do this all the way across. Hopefully this will not take me too long. I thought if you saw the process of what I've done. There we go. And then back across. Again, want to stagger it. I've got the light in my way. So, and keep pulling it across till we've done this one. So has it been a nice day where you are today? Hope it has. Yeah, I'm gonna, now some of this you might not need to have done, but I'm just going to do it all, and then I haven't got to mess to work out where I've got to do it and where I haven't got to do it. So I'm just bringing it across, and you see I've gone out of shot. Done that. So the tone on tone works quite nicely because I'm using real red and then the real red bricks. And so we don't need to go, but to follow it through, it's better if you just do it there, and then the last little bit there. Nearly done. So you've got all the brick effect. Don't know if I gone out of shot, sorry. Okay. So once you've done that, we'll just put that out of the way a minute. I'm going to wipe my hands, probably got too much red on there. We're going to now bring back in our vellum. So what have I done with my vellum now? Oh, it's there. Okay, just make sure. I'm just going to put some of this on my hands because I don't want to get my vellum a mess. So just wipe that. Now what we're going to do is going to take that bit out again. So take your bit out now, your brick wall there, and we're going to turn it over, make sure that's dry, and we're going to put glue all the way around your opening. Okay, not too close to the edge, so leave it there, not too close to the edge. And then what I like to do is pop the vellum down with the flame and then seat it where I feel that it's right in the middle, and then just pop that down, come back in and just run your fingers over it, or just hold it a little while. So it does eventually takes a while to do it. Now I don't want to do it with glue dots because glue dots can in heat start peeling off, so I prefer to do it with the actual glue. Okay, so I'm going to keep coming back and pushing that down because I've warped it a little bit, but it'll go off and start to dry. But we've not folded this. The reason we've not folded this is we're going back to rescore down the vellum. So I'll just pop that. I'll just keep coming back though every now and again and pinching. That's it, I think. Right, I'll just pop that out of the way. So we're not scoring that at the moment. We'll bring in now our 2 3/4. So you've got 2 3/4 by your 11 1/4, and we're just going to score exactly the same. So I'm going to remove my blade so I can't do anything with that. We're going to score exactly the same on these two. Now I'm going to do it separate. I'm not going to, I did think about putting 2 in at once, but I'm not going to risk it. So we're going to score at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and you want 2 of these, and then we're going to do 8 1/4, 8 1/4, and then 11. Okay, 11. Right, I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. So again, it's 2 3/4 by 11 3/4. We're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and 11. Okay, now we are again going to do these. Now I do roughly bend these. I'm not doing them precise. I'm just bending on the creases just so that I can see how my box is forming, so that I can, that doesn't look right. What's the matter with that? I'm just going to check that again. Not having a good day today, so let's let's look again at my scores. 2 3/4, 2 3/4. Oh, what happened there? I don't know what happened there. 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, then 5 1/2. Yeah, they look as though they're, so it's just that first one. Don't know why it went like that. That's better. Okay, so I'm just gonna rub on that one. I'll crease and a nail, flattening it down, making sure it'll be all right. Okay, so again, just gonna roughly fold these so we've got it in our box, and then let me just have a look at which way round I did it. Okay, so we're again going to use our red brick technique. So that one goes there. So we want that as the, it's going to bend over like that. So the flap's going to be at the front, but when that's down, you won't see that at the bottom. So what we need to do is this part and this part, we are going to stamp. Okay, so we're going to stamp that part. Let's just bring the pad back in and stamp that. So this shouldn't take too long now. So we're going to stamp, and I'll stamp again from the bottom. Just clip it off the edge. Stamp there and there. Yeah, and then there. It doesn't matter how you do it, it's going to be absolutely fine. So it's the first 2 cubes that we are stamping. There. Okay, and there was a little bit, stamp just that little bit off, and that's fine. So now what we're going to do, put it back in position again so you can see that I've got this at the front, this, but we're also going to see this back wall here. So I'm putting my thumb on that back wall, lifting it off, and then I need to stamp inside here. So I'm just going to stamp quickly. I've got my light pointing, so it's hard for me to see. Let's take that backwards. Okay, so you just need to stamp in that section there. So let's pop that on one side and bring this back in. So again, we're going to put that facing you. This comes over, so it's this one and this one we need to stamp. So let's get that in there and let's start stamping. I've got my so it's just going to give it that brick effect, so you need to do 2. I don't need to do any more, +2. Right, so we're going to again make sure that's at the front, put that down, that's going to be the back wall, so it's this one I need to stamp. So let's do this one. Where's the butter? And there, and there, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to get in a mess with that, so I'm going to put that out of my way. Right, let's close up this ink pad now. Okay, I'm going to go back to wiping my hands a minute, and then I'm going to pull back in turn this over again. I think they're all dry, so yeah, now my vellum's dry on there, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my trimmer and put it in. Let's open this up. I think that's the 8 1/4. So we're going to go back to 8 1/4. So make sure you get that exact. And then I'm going to run over that one. That's just for the vellum, so that the vellum will crease. So when we crease that, that vellum will bend as well. So I'm just going to pinch that down with my pin, and we can just go over them now. Where are we? Just bring those in. There we go. So that is going to stand up there. So before we go any further, we're going to do the surround now. That makes it easier to do this. So what I've got is some I want to say coffee. What is it called? Where's my welcome window? What have I done with that? Have I put them? Nope. Welcome window, it's this one. Right. So my welcome window, what I want out of my welcome window set is this one here. So we want that one. So I'm going to put that one on there. And then there is another little die like that. And we're going to cut those out. And we want to cut 3 out of the single one, just 1 of these and 3 of the other. So I'm going to cut those out. Now this is the first one's fine, but the second one we've got to do 2 stages to it. Okay, so let's run those through first. Okay, so this is going to give the wood effect to the surround. Now obviously on the video that I showed, you might not have been able to have seen the wood effect, because I might not have been able to show it in the lighting. But as you can see on this one, that beautiful wood effect. Okay, but this one, of course, that we've just cut out is just plain. Well, we're going to make that the wood effect as well. That's why I said we've got 2 stages there. So I've just got to cut 2 more of these out. Bear with. There we go. I can't remember the name of this brown. I'm sure I've got the ink in this one. I can't remember what it's called. It's the dark original one. I'll have to flick through and see what it's called, but it's the darkest brown that Stampin' Up do. Okay, right. So we've got those. Let's just move that out of the way. And then we need the next bit, which is the window shutters. So all we're going to do is place our pieces, and don't think we can get, no, we just get 2 of them in at a time. So that's all I'm doing. I'm placing those on there. I'll do it this way around so you could see what I was doing, and then take those through. And then they give then the lovely wood effect. So that works nicely there. Just got the last one to put in. I'll just put that one in. Now, I like to think out the box, and I like to use what I have to create So there is a wood effect embossing folder, but it won't give as fine as this, but there might be other ones that give just as fine as that. Right, let's just pop that out of the way for the moment and bring back in our fireplace now. So we are going to put the one, just let me double check how I did it right. Up the sides we are going to put these two. Now what we're going to do is not glue them down straight away, because what we need to do is we need to see, because if you can see, that is not long enough. So we have to put this in the center and then bring these two into it so that we can get our fire surround, and then we will put this one on the top like that. Yeah, that's it. So that goes like that. So that's what we're going to do. So first of all, I'll glue the bottom one, and why we're not making this up is because, again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure there is a crease on these to be able to put them there. Let me just check the height of these before I commit to that. Yeah, all right, put it about there, so make sure that's about even. So I need to come over a bit, so I'm looking to the edges there, making sure it's even. There we go. And then bring in our two side ones now. And the other side one. It just gives it that little bit more detail with having the wood effect. If you follow me, you know that I quite like detail. And then this one is going to go on the top like that. Make sure that's on the sides. I like the wet glue so that you can keep adjusting until you've got it exactly where you want it. And then put glue on this one. And then put that in the middle so it gives equal on either side. I think that's not quite straight, so let's push that in a bit. And then I hung some stockings on here, but I did do that after, so I'm not going to do the stockings now. We're going to get on with doing the building up. Okay, so while we've got it flat, we need to come in again, make sure that we have got this going, and we need to put your brick side, and this is where I get a pencil. Okay, and we just put this like that. That's that way. Oops. I'm going to put this on here. So does it have that? Let me just make sure it's halfway there. Yeah. So where the crease is, you've got that halfway point where that crease is there. So you're going to have your cube. Now make sure this line here is at the bottom, so I'll often bend that up and fit it on so that it's level with the bottom. So you've got that level, make sure it's nice and level, and then level there. And I am just going to put a pencil mark there and a pencil mark there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my trimmer in and make sure my blade's back in. Now what you could do is you could measure from there to there so that you know what that is exactly. I'm going to, I think, go for my measurements. What have I done with my, yes, these are my design ones. So did I put it on that one or did I put it on that one? Okay, I might have. So I showed there where I've measured it, but that goes at the bottom, that's there. Okay, so that there is about one and a quarter over. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if this does actually fit. No, it doesn't, so I've got to be careful that I don't do it to these measurements. So that is too wide, so how's that? So that's that 1.5. So if I'm going to go to 1 1/4, so I'm going to do it by trial and error. So I've marked there and there, so I'm going to put that mark in and I'm going to go down as far as 1 1/4. So I think I might be all right with that. So I'm going to say about 1 1/4. Then I'm going to come to the other one and get that in the middle and then go 1 1/4 again. 1 1/4. I'm just going to have a look whether 1 1/4 is quite enough. It looks it. So I'm going to then chop that. So I'm going to put it in at 1 1/4 on that side. So I'm going to come in at 1 1/4 and cut between my two cut lines. So 1 1/4, need to get it level. It's hard when you've got a light in your way and camera. Oops, get that underneath. Make sure that's 1 1/4. Gonna go between the cut lines, so I'll go the top. Get that in there. And cut between the two lines now. There we go. And again, get your scissors in. I've done with mine. There we go. And now have a look. That's to be there. Yeah, that's lovely. So 1 1/4, that's going to work out fine. Okay, so I'm now going to do the next side. So that is that side. So I'm going to bring in the other one again. put it so you know which way it's facing. Put that down there, and I'm again going to make sure, lift that up, the score line on the end here, so I'm lining that edge bit, so I want the edge bit with the score line there. Then I'm making sure that I've got that level with the bottom and that score line, and then I'm just going to mark again that little mark there and that little mark there. Okay, so again I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to turn this round and I'm going to see, yeah, 1 1/4, can get away with 1 1/4 again. So I'm going to put it in, and where my pencil lines are, so I'm looking to make sure that that's in the middle of my track. So if you can see the pencil mark, I want it exactly in the middle like that. So making sure, put it like that in the middle, and then I'm going to come down 1 1/4. So I'm coming down 1 1/4. Okay, and I'm going to move it along to get that other pencil mark in the middle of my track again, and I'm going to come down 1 1/4 again. So I'm using the blade side there to measure my 1 1/4 on the ruler. I'm then going to put it in at 1 1/4. So put it in at 1 1/4, and then I'm going to cut between my cuts. So there, and cut between my cut lines. Take it out, and that's come out straight away, so that's wonderful. Okay, right, so make sure I know which side they're going, and I'm coming back now again to my main one, and I'm going to turn it around. Let's have a look. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it that way, aren't I? 8 1/4, I think, is the mark. 8 1/4. So I'm going back in at 8 1/4. I've left my glue to dry, and I'm going to now just go onto my fireplace to give it that crease, so that my fireplace will now crease. Okay. We're now going to burnish our creases. If I can find what I've done with my bone folder. I had it around here somewhere. It is, it's there. So I'm just going to go in now, properly crease, making sure that you've got that level with the sides. Go in there, creasing, do a little crease on those. And then we've got crease there, and we're going to put glue all on here. You could use some I wouldn't recommend tear and tape. I would recommend you do this with wet glue. The reason being is heat, because I don't know how much heat that candle will give off, but if it's placed on a fireplace and there's anything warm, you're better off putting the wet glue on, so that you have got a good seal and you're not worried. Okay, so we're going to fold this now towards us, and I'm going to make sure that that will go in there. Yeah, and I don't know whether I did actually do that round. I think I am going to do it this way. So I'm not going to make up my cube. I'm going to go on the back and place this one in the right place. So we're making sure that we've got this correct at the bottom. Give it, and then we can fold this. Oh, I forgot to burnish those, didn't I? It'll work. I'm just gonna put glue now on my tab. And bring that down, hold that there. Making sure that this box is square. Still, I like wet glue because you've got that wiggle room to make sure that that is. And then I bring it down and fold it as well. Okay, so I take it up and down so that it fits perfectly there. Give you glue time to dry. And then again, we're coming in with the next part. So I'm going onto the back and bringing the glue all the way around. And bring this in again now. So we're going to make sure that we've got this at the bottom. So I'm making sure that my crease line is at the bottom, making sure that it's all there, go around this. So I'm looking to make sure that that's right there, that the bottom is level, so that when we put these two up, look, okay, make sure that they're going to be right. And then we can bring this tab, bring this down. That's going to fold on there. I'll hold that again. We're just going to recrease these down. I'm going to take it the opposite way and bring that down there. That. Okay, so we've got that like that, and then that's going to go like that. You can do it both ways so it stands, and then that is your fireplace done. And now for the snow. Okay, so for the snow, I got a piece of white card, and I thought I'd got my white card out. No, I haven't. So I'm just going to, I've got, yeah, that'll do great. So I'm going to cut, let me just move one of my stamp sets out of the way. So I just fetched those out of welcome window. I don't like to lose my dies, so put those back. That's all we need in welcome window. So I'll put that out of the way now. And we need the quite curvy now. So in the quite curvy set, there is a big piece that fits over this, and it's got these lovely jaggy and curved edges. So this is my snow. Told you I like to think out the box. So I'm going to this is going to fit on like this. So I'm going to make sure that I've got about that, I think. So that's about, I'll do it 1 5/8. So I'm cutting a piece 1 5/8, and the length of it should be, let's just check, yeah, it's the 8 1/4 side. So I've got a piece 8 1/4 by the what did I say it was? 1 and 5. Yeah, 1 5/8. So I've done it 1 5/8. So let's just put the trimmer out of the way. Bring back in my and I've put that the wrong way. So all I do is thread my die over the top like this. Okay, so that piece is underneath and that piece is on the top. I'm not going quite to the corner, I'm going to leave that. So I'm going to pop this in, take it through. Now, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm going to come back now. The reason being is I want to extend it. So I've got so much now, and I'm going to go back in, move that out of my way, and bring this I think did I do it about so I think there. So this time I'm going to turn it round and go the other way. Okay, and I'm not going to put my plate to the end. I'm going to put it where I have got that last little bit, so that hopefully when we take it out we should have a continuous snow thing. So I'm not going to go all the way to the end, and we'll open it up and see. So we've got a little bit missing there. Now you can mess about with your die, or you can go back in with your scissors and sort of just do some wiggly lines until you meet up with that. There. So now I've got something that I can use on the bottom, something I can use on the top. So what I did was my 8 1/4, let's see, I'm going to go for 1/2 inch on the end of it, and I am going to put a score line in. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my chimney, so that will go round there, and then that one, let's have a look at, see if it is about 2 3/4, just over. I'm going to take it, so 2 3/4, a quarter makes it 3, 2 3/4. I'm going to fold it, I can't be bothered to work it out. 2 3/4, and I'm just going to give a Nat's Knicker so that it's going to hold in the middle, and then I'll fold that and take that 2 3/4. Where does it go? 2 3/4. Extend that out. Sits around there and take 2 3/4. That's it. About there-ish, and give myself a score line there. And let's bring the chimney back in, and hopefully if we've done that right, then that, yeah, that's lovely. Now there. Now I didn't bother going all the way round. You could use the 11 3/4 side and keep feeding your die in like I've just showed you, and go all the way round. I didn't actually. I just did about 1/2 inch coming on the back, because all you see is this this part here. So I glue that on there. I'm just going to go in and out. But I just thought snow's random, and I just thought that die just give me some nice random snow bits. So put that on there. Just make sure it's level with your top. And get that pinched down there so that you've got those snow bits coming round the back, but you've got that lovely snow going off at the top. Okay, now where's a bit of red card? No, don't think that's big enough. Right, I just need some red card. Now I actually, on the other one, on this snow, I just thought the snowman could do with something going underneath. So I'm going to do a bit more snow for the bottom of this. In fact, I'm going to do it for both of them on this one. So I'm going to bring in again, do another 5/8. So I'm going to bring another 1 5/8 and cut that again, so that I've got some snow for the bottom. Okay, and again. In fact, at the bottom one, no, I will do that because we can take some off at the end, can't we? So again, that ain't it. So again, I'm going to go in there. So fit that on there. Bring back in my plates and trimmer. Take it through. Okay, we don't need to put it through twice, so I've actually cut this off because we are only going to stick it on the bottom of the trimmer. So put it that way, of course. We want, it's 2 3/4 plus 1/2 inch on either side, I think. I'll do so 2 3/4, so there, another 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4. Oops, cut, not score. Then I'm going to come back in and do 1/2 inch score on either side. So 1/2 inch, and that one will be there. Yeah, I think that's about 1/2 inch. Going to score that and just bend those. Now it does, I don't know whether you can pick this up in the camera, but it does give a little bit of oh, you can see better there. Yeah, gives it a shadow. Well, that works well to actually giving a shadow of the snow, I think. So I'm going to stick this level with the bottom of here. So we're going to put that in, and that's going to bend round there like that to give it some snow. So I'm just creasing that down, and then I can put my glue to do that. So, and then of course I would sit my snowman on the top of this. Okay, so take that to the bottom, the corners, so that that's got some snow coming off on the floor. And then get whatever snowman die you've got and place. I think that will look better with the snowman on top of that. So there. And I'm going to do it for the other side as well. So let's trim it. Again, 1 5/8. 1 5/8. And put this through with the die. What have I done with the die? On this sheet of paper. I don't think I would. No, we'll go for this. We'll do it on this. I can always use that for scraps. So again, just feed the R through. And I say we take that one all the way through because I only need a narrow piece. So let's get that out of the way. Bring back the trimmer. Again, what did I cut it down to? So let's, it was 2 1/4, so that was half, and that was half, so it was 3 3/4. So I chop that like that, and then 1/2 inch, we're going to score it and put that in at 1/2 inch and score it. And then again, gonna bend those round. Something on my plate. We've got that one going there. It's coming off a bit. Didn't hold it long enough. And we'll put all the glue on here again. Again, make sure it's level with the bottom, and then round. I would just take it probably just a little bit shorter than 1/2 inch on one side, just to get it bending better than mine, but what we can do anyway. So pop those down and make sure I haven't got that at the bottom of a, need to put it down a little bit. That's it. So I'm going to put those down, not coming, and crease down the sides. Make that sharper. Okay. So you could put it in an envelope like that to keep it flat, or you can bend it like that and put it in an envelope. So I've got one more thing to show you. So 2 more things, should I say, to show you. So that, I like that better now. I don't know. Oh, hiya, Valerie. I don't know whether you saw my mini video on this one where I put the tea light in and it makes the fire. So I've just had a request to actually show it. I'm changing it up slightly from this one because I want to put snow on the bottom, which I've now done. Okay, so that needs a bit more holding of the glue. Right, let me get my red. Okay, I've got some scraps. Just need your scrap. That'll do. Right. Now, I think, where's my original? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So what you need is a piece of red that is 3 inches, so just going to come down 3 inches, and I did it by, I think, just over half maybe, so I went down a little bit, so I'll do it 3/4 of an inch, so 3/4 of an inch, yeah, that will do fine. So we've got a piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches, and we're going to score that at 1/2 an inch. Turn it round and score it at 1/2 an inch. Okay, there we go. And then at 1.5 inches. Okay. And then the middle one will be folded in half, and then fold those two back like that. I'll just double check that that is, yeah, same size. Then what we're going to do is put glue on your 2 pieces here, and it's a bit hard to show you. I'm going to put that about 1/4 of an inch down, so I don't know whether you can see that. It's 1/4 of an inch down, and the flaps need to be back, so it's a bit hard for me to show you. So the flaps need to be back, and I'm going to put it 1/4 of an inch down, so and put that there. So can you, let me show you now, can you see? So I've put it 1/4 of an inch down. I've actually pushed that back so that I can see that that is in the middle there, and then you will leave those flaps to dry and then pop that forward like that. Okay, so that's what you need to do for the Santa. Then we need, and I'm just going to use some of my off bits now, another piece now. How big were they? Were they about 3/4 of an inch? Let's do, gonna do 3/4 of an inch high and see what this looks like. So we want 3/4 of an inch, and you need, so what is this? This is, we'll make it 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 by 3/4, and then put it at 3/4 on either side and score, and then that will go like that. And you can do the same again. So we want 1.5 by 3/4. So we're going to do 3/4. Oops, that's not in level. 3/4, and then we're going to do that by 1.5, and then we're going to put that in at 3/4. So I'm using the scraps that I've cut off because you won't see these, and then you're going to just fold that in half. Now what I do is, my Santa, I actually glue these either side of this, so they glue one on one side, one on the other, so you're only gluing the back parts of these. And then that, of course, if I can just hold those bits so you can see, because I've not got my Santa made up yet. And then you can glue, or you can glue these two onto your Santa and then glue these on there. I'll try and show you now my Santa. So my Santa is glued, you can see one there and one there, and it's glued on the back of Santa. So that's what helps Santa be suspended going down the chimney. So how I did, I just popped my snowman pump on dimensionals and my Ho Ho Merry Christmas on dimensionals. For my sleigh, all I did was cut out my sleigh as normal, but then just add a piece of card, and it was approximate, so just so it doesn't come over your sleigh, and about double, and you just put your score line down the middle to fold in half, glue the bottom, one half to the sleigh, one half to there, and then that's how your sleigh stands up. Exactly the same. I've done that a bit narrower because this one was tall and it worked out this way. So that's probably about 1/4 inch or just over on each of that. Score it down the middle, put one onto your bottom of your reindeer and then one onto there, and then that stands up. And then of course I put my little booties on there. So I'm not, obviously, because it's going to make the video even longer now, but now you can see how I made my triple card, and I've given you all the things that you can do to finish it off, to make it like mine, or put different things there, but that gives you the idea. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that you've stayed with me for this length of time, as it is a lengthy one, but hope you like it. Thank you very much for requesting a video, whoever requested it. Very kind of you, that you like what I was doing. So I'll say goodbye for now. Stay stay well. Bye for now.